I feel one of the most important tools any business should have is a strong marketing and communication skill sets, because a lot of companies, not that they don't have good products, not that they don't have good services, it is just they are unable to market their products and their services well or in an excellent manner. And then also with marketing and communication, it is a skill that a lot of entrepreneurs can have. When you're starting out a company, it is a skill that you can learn along the way. So today, I feel it's important that we have a little discussion around marketing and communication, because you know how unemployment is rife in South Africa. So we're also pushing the narrative that people need to start enterprising. People need to start their own businesses, own companies, offering services and products here and there. So as people do that, many of them, they're not marketing experts, or they might not have the know-how of marketing. So that's why today I feel it's important that we talk about marketing and communication for business success.
Yeah, I feel like each and every enterprise, it needs to have a department that is specifically about marketing and
Oh yeah,
communication,
yeah.
because it is very important. Because remember, marketing and communication is about communicating as a team in the enterprise and communicating with your target market. What are you communicating about? Obviously, about the business, the vision that the business has, the culture of the business, and also how are you sending out the messages if you are saving people, or how are you sending out the product, how are you selling the products that you are selling to your target market. Very important, because also that is going to assist with how you get to also relate with this your target market people, also the company, the relationships that you have with all the team members in the company. So yes, it's very important for an enterprise to have the department that is specifically about it, because that is going to assist the company to grow, regardless of what kind of an enterprise it is, whether small or big, but it's very important.
And you mentioned something important, and this is a decision that needs to be considered at the start of a company, or when we are conceptualizing services we're going to offer. You mentioned target marketing. So that's one important marketing idea or marketing concept that you need when you are creating a marketing and communication strategy. Because with target market, it refers to who are you serving through your product or through the service. So target market basically refers to who your client is. So many times people just have companies, but you need to have the clear target market in mind. If we are offering a marketing consulting firm, we need to know, okay, our target market, it is going to be companies who want marketing services. Sometimes it can be companies like accounting consultants, legal consultants. We can also target, our target market can also include local shops or certain grocery stores. Our target market can also include clothing or fashion outlets. Our target market can also include, let me just think on top of my head, hardwares, hardwares that supply building material to people. So all these companies that I just mentioned, they do need a marketing expertise. So those we can decide that this is our target market. So it's very important for any company to know who is my client. And then if you are in the business of entertainment, as we're doing a podcast, or as some other people might be doing music, it's also important to know I'm actually creating music, or I'm creating podcasts. I'm targeting these kind of people. I'm creating this music. I'm targeting young people between these ages. Or I'm creating this music. I'm actually targeting the older market. So that's where the idea of target market really is.
Look, Percy, this draws down basically to at the beginning of the business. Remember, at the beginning of the business, you have a plan. And in your plan, there must be a marketing strategy. There must be a strategy of the target market that you are going to serve. That draws down to what are you selling, number one. Number two, who are you going to sell these things to? Which is going to lead you to where? Where are you going to sell those things? We live in a world of AI, the world of internet right now. That can also go to online. It's no longer about, oh, I need to sell because my target market is in the mall, so I need to target a mall. Or my target market is rural people, so I need to go to the rural areas or to the location. So it's very broad right now. We have a lot of options, you know. So, and it leads to now. Now, the final point is how. How, which is about the segment. What are you going to use? Are you going to use direct marketing? Are you going to use online marketing? Online marketing is very broad. We go down to websites, we go down to blogging, we're going down to social media platforms, you know. But because now you are a brand or a company or an enterprise that knows what it's doing and it's planning ahead, you need to fine tune your marketing strategy. As much as it's very broad that you can do this, you can sell where, you can sell this, and you have a lot of options, you need to be also specific. You can't just go to Instagram because there is Instagram. Is your target market at Instagram? No, your target market is not at Instagram. So who are you going to sell to? Then you fine tune yourself. Okay, but my people are at where? Facebook. Now I'm talking online media, social media to be specific. Then that means Facebook, to be specific, is going to be your platform whereby you're going to sell your products or services. That's how you fine tune. And you can't just select it from at the back of your head. No, you need to test it, trial test it. Go to Facebook, create that page, go to Facebook and tell my people, this is what I'm doing. Would you buy it? Or how would you like to sell it? See the response on Facebook, see the response on TikTok, see the response on Instagram, and see who's responding better. At the end of the day, you can do all of them, but you need to have that one segment that is going to assist you because you know that's where more of your target market is. So it's very selective. You need to know what you are selling to who and how.
Oh, yes. I like when you say how you're going to sell because that leads us to the next important point when it comes to marketing strategies. We already mentioned that you need to have an idea of your business or a service or a product that you're going to offer. Then we already mentioned the target market. You need to have an idea of who your customers are or people you are targeting through this service or through this product that you want to offer. And then the how to. This is where we get to how we're going to communicate our marketing messages. So this is where we touch on marketing channels, the different marketing channels that are available. So some of the marketing channels that are available, I'm going to start with something that a lot of people use and it is free and available to anyone and it's easily accessible. That is the digital marketing. So one can use digital marketing, as you just mentioned, where you're going to distribute or where you're going to promote your products and services online. And with digital marketing, there's a whole strategy or skill set that's required for digital marketing. We'll probably get to that some other day, but today we're just speaking general marketing communication for business success. So this digital marketing, you can decide on your online presence that okay fine, I'm going to be on these platforms, and then you can also decide I'm going to maybe advertise on Google Ads or I'm going to advertise through social media channels. You can decide whether you're going to have a website for your products for your services, and websites are much easier to create now than back in the days when I was also getting knowledgeable around the online and digital tools, because back in the days you needed a website expert to create a website for you, but nowadays there's artificial intelligence tools that can assist you to create your own website. And I know digital marketing is very big and it's growing and it's effective, but there are other marketing tools that people tend to forget, and that is personal selling and direct marketing. So this is the how you can also create, or this is the how you can promote your brand, your business, your service, or your product. So when we talk about personal selling or direct marketing, we have a podcast, right? And our podcast is targeting young people, the youth. So sometimes when we think about personal selling, we can think about going out to places where a lot of people hang around, or a lot of people can be found, and then we just tell them about what our podcast is about, and then just share the link to our podcast. So that is personal selling. So what I've realized, especially from a background of traditional marketing, because I'm had the opportunity to be in both fields, traditional marketing and the latest digital marketing, is that a lot of young people, they focus on digital marketing and then forget that personal selling and direct marketing tool, that it can also benefit their service or their product. So with personal selling, as I've mentioned, it is going or approaching people personally who form part of your target market, and then informing them about your product or your service. So personal selling is also similar to direct marketing. Direct marketing, whereby we go to certain places. We know a lot of young people can be found in high schools, a lot of young people can be found in universities, and then we go to those certain places and then we promote our podcast. So for anyone who like to promote their business, let's not only be limited to online digital tools of digital marketing. Let's also consider personal selling, direct marketing. You can knock on the company doors and tell them directly what your service or what your product is. You can talk to people wherever you meet them and tell them about your product or the service that you are offering. So I feel these are other two important marketing tools that we should not forget, because we are raising a society that is very digital. Everything is online and everything is on the screen. So it's important that they also know these marketing vehicles of direct marketing and personal selling. That actually go out there and talk to those companies. Go out there and perform in front of your target market. Go out there and tell people what products or what service you are offering. So that's direct marketing and personal selling as other good marketing vehicles.
And I love those. Personally, I love those. You know
Yeah,
why?
yeah.
Because you tend to be direct. You tend, the other thing that I love them is because now they are also about presentation. You wake up in the morning, you dress well, you get ready, you like, I'm a businessman, I'm going to knock at these doors and I'm definitely going to get this opportunity. So you get to be ready, you prepare yourself. I feel like that's the reason why these youngsters rather go digitally than doing those direct marketing forms. But the nice thing that I love about them is the fact that you can integrate them. You can either do both, do the traditional direct marketing, and also do the online marketing. The other thing that I love about online marketing is the fact that on its own it's integrated. It's no longer just a matter of sending out messages like back in the days when you can just send emails. No, today you can do it in a form of a vlog. Remember, in a form of a vlog, they can still see you, they can still hear you, you can still also like integrate the wording of whatever that you are saying. You can also integrate your logo into the video that you are shooting to market your product or your service. You can also integrate the very same service that you are selling, showing them via pictures, or also the products that you are selling while your voice is at the background. I feel like that's why the new generation rather go the AI way, because we are evolving. Remember, we're living in an evolving world. It's a revolutionary the online way can be integrated to the traditional way. I prefer doing the traditional way because you can see me, you can be like, you know what, here's this pretty lady, and then you will want to listen to me, only to find out there's more behind this pretty face, you know. So that's the reason why I usually take advantage of it. But otherwise, the online way, it's quick and easy. Talking about being quick and easy, what I've learned is you don't need to be a big business to have this department, the marketing and communication department in your enterprise or in your business. You can still be alone. And through AI, you can automate everything. You can automate your advertising, you can automate your public relations, whereby you get to relate with your target market. You can make your own website by yourself, and the website is just going to be sitting there with all the infographic of the business that you are running, you know. So I love how flexible it is lately, and I also love how convenient it is to the youth. Though I'm not against the traditional one because, like I said, I love it, but the AI way, it's the way, guys. It is the way. I'm not promoting it or anything, but it is the way. Marketing, communication, it's much more easier when you integrate.
And I totally agree. You know, since the days I got into the marketing and communication fields, there has been many changes. You did speak about evolution. So I'm 100% for the evolution. And the way marketing and communication has been disrupted, it is through digital online tools, obviously. And this is something we cannot run away from. I feel we need to take advantage of the online digital tools. So as you are saying, with the evolution, I also saw that evolution in marketing. So these days, when you are applying for a marketing and communication job, they want to see whether you have knowledge on social media or on digital marketing. So it's very much important to also learn the digital tools and not only focus on traditional marketing, because that is how the world has evolved. That even when you are about to start a marketing career, communications career, applying for a marketing job, communication job in any company, they want you to know those digital online tools. So I think we should have a discussion about the digital marketing at a later point. But now we just, engaging more on marketing and communication. So with online tools, they've also made easier other marketing avenues that were not freely available for you and I. So the other marketing tools that I want to talk about, it is public relations and advertising. So a lot of people would think, ooh, advertising, that's something I cannot afford. But we have seen that online advertising, it is much more possible. You can advertise your product or your brand on Facebook, on YouTube, on Google Ads, and have it appear whenever people are searching something. So advertising is another important marketing tool. So with advertising, it's not only online, it can also be offline, where you create a certain message, you show the benefits of people using your product or people using your service, and then you advertise a message based on that. So that's what advertising is about. Advertising is about informing, it is about persuading, it is also creating a call to action that people need to go out there and purchase your product or your service. So when starting a company, also have advertising in mind. You might not have a budget for it, but you'd never know. Maybe you're gonna find a sponsors down the line, and they give you huge amounts of money, and they're able to invest in advertising. But advertising is like another important marketing tool. So as I've said, it's about informing, it's about persuading, it's also about a call to action, telling your target market what they need to do. So advertising is not only traditional, where you can advertise on radio, television, newspapers, magazines, and what. We can also advertise online these days. And the same goes for public relations. So what I found is another important marketing vehicle or marketing tool. It is public relations. With public relations, it is self-explanatory. Public relations is about your bill, your business, your brand, your product or your service creating a certain relationship with the public. So through public relations, you need to be centered or focusing on the public that you want to serve. So if we are doing a podcast targeting the youth, our public relations strategy could be maybe we are writing certain blogs or vlogs, and then we're sending them out for people to see or for young people to see what our podcast is about. And then public relations could also mean that we are writing news stories to local newspapers or to national newspapers on youth matters or matters that are relevant to young people. So that is also public relations. So public relations is almost like creating a favorable image for the organization in the public that we are serving. And then through public relations, we also see projects such as, publicity. Obviously, as I've mentioned, you are writing newspaper stories uh, to shape public opinion about your product, your brand, or your service. And then also with public relations, you can be engaged with community projects, giving back to the community, corporate social investment for bigger companies. So even smaller companies can do that, creating public relations. In fact, as our podcast, maybe we can approach a certain disadvantaged school here in the city of Pretoria, where we're based, and then maybe we just distribute sanitary pads or some food parcels for young people who are in need. So all that, it forms part of public relations. So when you are running a company, you have a business or product you want to promote, you really have to be creative in terms of ways you can create favorable relationships with your target market. So that's the reason why I love public relations a lot, because this is where you actually get to interact with your target market, but without promoting your brand or your service or your product, but by creating a favorable image, by serving the public, by publicizing relevant information, by also sponsorship. We can also think about sponsorship when you're creating a favorable image of the organization in the public. We can select a certain high school girl whom we can sponsor his metric or her metric dance, or we can select a certain high school boy whom we can sponsor his metric outfits. So these are different activities that you can do in public relations to create a favorable image of the organization. And you're quite right, online public relations is also growing, because with online public relations, what I like, you can be able to send you a news article to a certain website. And there are many websites catering for different industries. So whether you are in retail, spaza shops, there's a website for that. Whether you are in fashion, there's a website for that. Whatever industry you are in, there's a website for that. So if you can just be able to create, news stories which are relevant to your target market, and then you feed them through this website, or you upload it on the specific website that is relevant to your field, you might find that that website, it can also post to different other websites, or it can circulate your news story to different other websites. So that's why I like public relations, online public relations, is that with just a single activity or a single effort, you can have different websites also picking up your news article. We're going to get to that later on, obviously, when we're doing digital marketing. But yes, girl.
I love the point whereby you mentioned that public relations is about creating a favorable image. So I just want to elaborate more when coming to that. Marketing communication, yes, it's about advertising and public relations. Obviously, public relations is about how you relate to the people which are your target market. Though, furthermore, marketing communication is about how, as the company, you want people to see you. It's about visibility. It's about it's whereby things like your logo come in, your slogan come in. And I feel like this new generation, or most of the startup businesses right now, they are forgetting that that is important when coming to your marketing communication, because it's about your brand, how you want people to see you, which it will tailor down to your color. And those colors, they also have meaning. The slogan also, it's a saying that has meaning. People look at that and they see, now that's public relations. People look at your slogan and the colors of your logo and see if they communicate with them. Is this message, remember those colors and that slogan, they're sending out a message and they're reaching out to what? To those people that you are saying they are your target market. And then how are they going to buy from you? They're going to look at those and see if they can relate. If they relate, then that's when they're gonna, it's you attracting them. Public relations, how you relate to the target market. If they relate, then they're gonna see now, that is our tribe. That is the company that I want it to serve me. And then that's how you get what? Your market. They get to be drawn to you. But then most of the startup these days, they forget about such things, which are small little things, very tiny, I know, but very important, because they are playing a very big role in your company. Remember, as a company, what is your purpose? Your purpose is to make money. Your purpose is to sell. Your purpose is to serve these people that you're saying they are your target market. But if you are unable to relate with them, who is going to sell from you? That's why when they will be hiring, they'll be saying, we want a marketing communication manager. That's the person that's going to be up there and then is going to be instructing the team that this is how we are doing the things. But like I said earlier on, if you are alone, you can still run it online, but you still need a strategy. Have a strategy and delegate what? The AI. AI will do the job for you.
Certainly, Nomi. And a frightening reality, especially with many startup companies, is that more than 80% of startup companies here in South Africa, they fail or they quit business within the first 2 years. So it's extremely important for business people to apply marketing skills or to obtain marketing skills in building the success of their business, the success of their products and services. And you also mentioned something important about public relations, being responsible for creating a certain image of the company, the logos and the colors. So that is corporate identity. So that also forms part of the public relations responsibility. So it's important for people to have in mind, how is my company going to be different from other companies, not only in terms of service or product offering, but also in terms of visuals. How, what colors are you going to
When
use?
they see
What
blue,
logo?
they know it's Nomi. You know.
What logo you going to use? So that's extremely important to have a strong corporate identity. And also, there are online tools that can help you with corporate identities. You can get online, and I know there's AI where you can look at templates of creating a logo. You can look at templates of creating your business card. And then you also mentioned something important about a slogan. You see, now a slogan is important in a way that this is what puts your product or your service in the minds of the people. When your target market buy into your product or the service, they buy what you are promising them. So a slogan, it is almost that promise you are making as a brand, as a product or a service. It's that promise that you are making, that if you obtain this service, if you buy this product, this is what you're going to get. And the slogan is extremely important to the point that when you are writing your business strategy, business plan or marketing strategy, you need to have a brand position. It's a brand position. So a brand position, it is almost, it relates to a slogan that you're going to have, that it's going to stay in people's mind. Some call it a unique selling proposition, that brand position, and then some call it a mission. So it sort of stems from the mission of the company to being a unique selling proposition, that, okay, this is how I am different from other brands, to becoming a slogan that this is the promise I make to my target market, whoever that's going to obtain this service or whoever that's going to buy this product. So that is also extremely important. And I feel we still need to have a session on creating a mission and also crafting a unique selling proposition or a brand position, because that exercise, it results to a slogan. And a slogan is something that can take you very, very far, because it's a promise that you're making to your target market. So I'm in total agreement, Nomi. Those are some of the nitty gritties that we need to consider for the success of a business.
And just to wrap it up, with my experience, I've learned from Haiti, the entrepreneur, one of the best businesswomen in South Africa. She is a consultant, she's running a consulting company. So, what I've learned is for you to run a successful business, company, enterprise, whatever you might call it, you need to have a story, because running a business, it's more like storytelling.
Oh yes, yeah. In conclusion, most definitely, that narrative behind the business, I think that is what shapes your mission and your vision as a company. But we're gonna have another conversation on that. But in conclusion, the most important considerations or the most important ideas that you need to consider when it comes to marketing and communication for business success. Obviously, it is knowing what product, what service you're going to offer. It is knowing your target market. Who are you going to sell it to? It is also knowing your slogan. What is the promise that I am offering to the target market? And thereafter, it is also about the communication channels that you're going to use. We mentioned many communication channels: digital marketing, personal selling, direct marketing, public relations, advertising. So those are all the marketing channels or marketing communication tools that you can use, to ensure your business success. So we hope one day you're going to become the billionaire. Like Nomi used those marketing and communication ideas I shared.